Hey everybody, Stan Dale, President Florida SunCoast. Getting a little dark out here. Just stepped off an airplane, got home, and trying to write out everything that I need to talk about tonight. And boy, do we have a full slate. I'm just looking at the first 15 days of September. I think we got 9 events in the first 15 days. I think we're trying to set a record just in how many events in the shortest amount of time we can put together. But before we get into that, and I'll do it pretty quick tonight, before we get into that, I want to just take time to say thank you to Rody and the group over at Sims. The last 2 weekends, Naples Cars and Coffee and then Fort Meyers Cars and Coffee this past week had the simulators up, and I think people just had an absolute blast. Really just came out and had a good time. I had a good time. I know when I left I was number 3, but I'm sure I didn't last. I didn't score out that bad when some of the hotter ones got on there. But a lot of fun, and we'll see more of Rody in his group with the Sims group. So just a lot of fun, and stay tuned for some cool information on that. Let me jump right into it. August the 31st, we've got Bimmers and Dinner at Port St. Joe. That is up. That's Chris and Margaret stuff up in. This is going to be in Port St. Joe, so it's on the east. It's on the Eastern Daylight Savings Time. So for all the folks up there, just recognize this is on the Eastern Time, and so you'll need to know where you are. And that's going to go to Provisions. What a really nice restaurant that is, and various cuisine. I think you'll really enjoy that. They've made a good choice on location. On September the 3rd, coming out this time early is Jeff. Just because of the way the calendar falls, Jeff Cunningham's got us going to La Mordida. Nice little restaurant there in St. Pete, Clearwater area, so that should be just a lot of fun. Check out Jeff's thing on September 3rd. September the 7th, we've got 2 events. Cars and Coffee in Sarasota. Lochlann, Forquin is taking over that area governor piece for that Cars and Coffee event. So come on out and support Lochlann. If you haven't met this young man yet, a lot of energy, great photographer, and so we'll head up that way and celebrate a Saturday morning in Sarasota. Also on the 7th, we've got the Gainesville Cars and Coffee at Tioga, I think is how I say that, Meribeth. Tioga Town Center, and Meribeth Culver's anchoring that one, September the 7th, so 2 Cars and Coffees. On the 8th, we've got 2 events also. Naples Cars and Coffee, Anthony and Deb down in Naples at the BMW dealership down on Davis Boulevard. So come on down, always a great event down there. And then also on the 8th, we have the, let's see, that's the Port Charlotte, that's Punta Gorda Port Charlotte breakfast. John Schneider and Irwin Block put that together. That's a combo, bunch of guys from the Z group, and everybody show up. Cars and Coffee, breakfast on the 8th. So got that going on. On the 14th, we have 3 events going on the 14th, so you've got a choice. But the 3rd annual Fort DeSoto Park Picnic. Al and the group have put together another great picnic for this weekend. That thing just took off like wildfire 3 years ago, and it just keeps growing and growing and growing with people attending that. So everybody's telling me they're going to the DeSoto picnic. So the 14th, 3rd annual Fort DeSoto picnic, Fort DeSoto Park Picnic. On the 14th as well, we have the Jacksonville Cars, Caffeine and Octane. That is Al MaKayy and Keeble Core put together a huge Cars and Coffee over in Jacksonville, so that's on the 14th as well. And also down in Fort Meyers, we have the Gul Coast Autocross. We're back driving. Hubert and the group will be out there. That's a 2-day event, 14th and 15th. Come out and do all your test and tune on the 14th. Probably one of the longest autocross tracks out here. Check that out. They stand down in July and August because of the heat, but September they come, no pun intended, roaring back. So the Gulf Coast Autocross is back up and going September and on into next, all the way through to next June. Always the first weekend in the month. So typically, I know that's not the dates here, but I think that's just a little bit of a correction on the dates for this opener. So lots going on. That's just 2 weeks worth of it. We've got more in September. It's just really hanging out and having some fun. So come on, guys, get off the sofa, join us. I want to say really thank you to Larry Engel. Larry is the regional VP for CCA for the North Atlantic area up in that group. And Larry goes down for a couple of our events over the last couple of weekends, and we enjoyed visiting with Larry. Always good to see him down, and just a lot of fun. So Larry, to you and yours, and I got a chance this week to speak with Paul, who is the president of the New Jersey CCA. Spent a little time on the phone with him, and I'll be spending some more time and just talking to more and more people out of our region that have some interaction with our chapter. We're well known across the country and around the world. Our chapter's known, and I know that sounds braggadocious, and I don't mean it to be. I'm just really proud of the effort, all the people that make this chapter what it is, and continue to help with events and create events and do new stuff. I just appreciate it. All the folks that came out last weekend to the Cars and Coffee in Fort Meyers that took the drive over to Sebring. I think we had almost 20 folks that went over to lunch over at the Jose. I can't remember the restaurant now, but it was good. I ate too much, and it was a longer drive back. But appreciate everybody coming out and enjoying that as well. We'll do more drives with our Cars and Coffees. It's sort of a switch up that we're putting into play. I'm also looking for an area governor for Lochlann. So if you know somebody that's really wants to dive in